I am merely putting up a mirror today. And if you don't like the reflection, if you don't like what you see, well, there's not much I can do about that. And before you respond with your anecdotal evidence, I'm not implying that as a single mother, you don't deserve someone who loves you and you. Hi everybody, this is Life with Leonard and welcome to another episode. Now on this channel, if you are new here, I strive to motivate and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. And today's episode is most definitely no different. There are a myriad of reasons why women end up as single mothers, and sadly some are widowed, others are divorced, and then there are other unforeseen circumstances as to why some are faced with this unfortunate dilemma, going through life and re-entering the dating scene as a single mother. And let me be clear, these types of women are very different to the ones that I am referring to in this episode. And to them, I'd like to say it takes a strong woman to be a single mom and take on two roles. You are amazing in your child's eye, so never forget that. I am not referring to you in this episode. I am referring to women, single mothers who've never been married. Often they have babies from multiple men and are just a pain to deal with. To those ladies, I would like to say that although what I will be sharing with you in this episode might sting a little bit, my intention is to help you become the best version of yourself. I am merely putting up a mirror today. And if you don't like the reflection, if you don't like what you see, well, there's not much I can do about that. And before you respond with your anecdotal evidence, I am not implying that as a single mother, you don't deserve someone who loves you and your children, or that you won't find someone ever again. The reality is your options, your value is less than your childless counterparts. And that is why I hope that what I'll be sharing today would be more of a wake-up call than anything else. And just remember, I am here to help. So gentlemen, I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you should perhaps reconsider dating a single mother. Number 1, the ex, the baby daddy, will always be there. Single parents have varying levels of involvement with the person that they've had children with. Although it is in the interest of the child that you as the parent put your differences aside and take care of your responsibility, because no child has ever asked to be here, to be born. And children are supposed to be born as an expression, as a result of the deep love and commitment between two people in a loving and stable environment, aka marriage. Nevertheless, in some cases, there will be no contact between the child and the father. And in other cases, the mother and the kids might see the other parent almost daily. The encounters with the ex-partner may be uncomfortable. Men definitely don't want to bump heads with another man, especially having his children in your household. It can become chaotic, and often the children suffer the most. This gets even more complicated when the mother has children from multiple men. So you need to realize and accept that the ex-baby daddy or daddies will always be there. And you don't just deal with her only, but also her ex or her baby daddies too. They will almost always be hovering around like a helicopter, looking to complicate things, creating unnecessary drama and issues, because some of these guys still think they have a shot at getting back with her. Others just don't want to see her happy. They want to fight over her. To them, it's a game. Meanwhile, you are trying to get serious, investing your time and your money. And let's just be honest about that one too. It is a risk that you take, and often the price you have to pay. Say your girlfriend has 2 children from 2 different baby daddies. She has to divide herself into 5. That is 2 children, the respective fathers, that's 4. Then there's her. And you get off whatever time she has for herself, half of a fifth, if she'd be willing to give you half of her time. That's just the reality, gentlemen. Usually in this type of relationship, you end up dead last. Behind her kids, her job, her car, the girlfriends, the block drain, even the dog. Sometimes the dog gets more attention and affection than you. And to top it all off, you're not just the boyfriend. You are a stepfather first. And men are territorial. So do you really blame the guy, the baby daddy, for his actions? He's a man. No matter your girlfriend, whatever she tells you, how bad he is, what big of a loser he is, whatever, just remember, she picked him. She gave him a child, a whole person, and that's the highest honor I believe a woman can give a man. Single mothers, in their mind, they are always the victim. Single mothers very seldom take responsibility for their actions. The situation they are in is always the fault of that no good man, their own daddy issues, their mother or someone else. I'm not saying that those are not legitimate reasons. In fact, there are so many fathers who neglect their children, who are absent, and mothers sometimes too. I mean, that's why as a single mother, it's important that you choose better, that you go for therapy and stop perpetuating the problem with your actions. Many single mothers, they never take any time to do any self-examination or make any efforts to change their lives. They're still looking for that knight in shining armor, who are some rich, tall, dark and handsome man, a high value man, not realizing that a successful man, a man of value, he moves differently, he operates differently, he thinks differently, he thinks generational, he thinks legacy, contingency, leadership. A successful man, a man of value, is not going to take on your children and take care of someone else's legacy. No, he wants his own. Just look into the animal kingdom. When a new male lion, a leader of note, an alpha, when he takes over the pride, what does he do with the cubs, the small lions, the previous pride, the previous male offsprings? What happens to them and why? He's not going to waste his resources, his energy, looking after and taking care of another lion's cubs. No, he wants his own, his bloodline, his legacy to continue. Children are the innocent ones here. I've said it before. They've never asked to be here. Someone else decided on their behalf, their parents, which is you. My point here is, ladies, be careful who you choose to give the highest honor to, who you decide to reproduce with, who you share your womb with. This is the highest honor you can give a man. You need to make better decisions. You can't be blaming. I mean, there is an overwhelming body of evidence and research that concludes that children who grow up fatherless are more vulnerable to emotional problems such as depression and aggression and drug usage, do poorly in school, are likely to be incarcerated. Girls are more likely to have lower self-esteem, which could lead to earlier and riskier sexual behavior. Teenage pregnancies, marrying early and getting divorced. As a single mother, you can't have a victim mentality when you have children to take care of. Single mothers often has a distorted self-image. Some of them still thinks that she's as sexy like she was before she had a baby, only because she doesn't understand how her body has changed. And I'm not coming for you. I'm not body shaming at all. I'm just wanting you to realize and to face the reality. All of our bodies changes. It happens to all of us. We age. We are not the same anymore. But we're not on the dating scene either. Women pay a much higher price than a man for spending too much time in their early 20s or in their youth on partying, dating for the fun of it, enjoying the attention. A woman in her early to mid-20s, her sexual marketplace value is at its peak, at its highest. And let me explain. If I take a 22-year-old woman and a 22-year-old man and ask you, what would their sexual marketplace value be in relation to each other? Whose value would be higher, or is it the same? You'd say that a woman, her sexual marketplace value would be higher than her male counterpart, and you wouldn't be wrong. In case you wonder, sexual marketplace value is a circulation of your worth to a sexual partner. The higher your value, the more desirable you are. Your sexual marketplace value isn't determined merely by how attractive you are, although that is a component. It is a total sum of what you offer in a sexual relationship. A woman's purity, being childless, her youth, her mannerism adds to her sexual market value. In the same example though, if I take a 26-year-old woman and a 26-year-old man, and I ask you, what would their sexual marketplace value be in relation to each other? Whose value would be higher? You'd say the woman, and once again, you won't be wrong. But at 30, you'd think a bit longer. And interestingly, the man's value are now more equal to the woman. The gap won't be that big, if there even is one. But if I jump to 35, the man's sexual marketplace value would be higher than the same age woman. And as we increase the age from there, the man's value are now suddenly on the rise, while the opposite will likely happen to the woman. Now, we can debate on that all day, but one of the main reasons for this is nature, the biological clock. And ladies, you know this. Your fertility naturally declines as you get older, which could make it harder for you to conceive. And starting a family later in life could pose great risks for pregnancy complications. But you know this. Experts say that the best time to get pregnant is between the late 20s and early 30s. This age range is associated with the best outcomes for both you and your baby. So when I talk about a distorted self-image, I'm not saying that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve love and affection and happiness. Not at all. I am aware that, I'm jumping between telling the guys to perhaps reconsider dating a single mother and putting up a mirror for you. It's for you to realize that things have changed, that you have changed. I told somebody the other day, and I'm not a car salesman, but I wanted to bring a point across. I said that you cannot sell an old Mini and then use the profit to buy the latest Porsche. My question to you is, what do you have that the man you want wants that you haven't given to someone else already? And that's how you are valued. And I say it again, ladies, be careful about your choices. You make them at a time when you are at your sexual peak, at your peak market value, when you are in high demand, thinking the world is your oyster. But in the end, you pay the price. Things just get more complicated when it comes to children. It will always be her children and not yours. Now, of course, children need to be taken care of, beloved, provided for. They need an environment that stimulates growth and positive development. We know that. And I guess you too. That's why you are there. However, some single mothers would not allow you to reprimand their children, and their father most definitely won't either. These are complicated dynamics. There are some of you who understandably experience apprehension about bonding with the children, because if you get attached to them, if you love them, and as noble and loving and kind and considerate it may sound, I'm sorry to say, but if you tend to get attached to children, you might want to reconsider enter into a relationship with a single mother unless you know it's going to be long term. I hear this over and over again. The problem is when or if you break up, you still love the kids, but you have no ties to them, no relationship with them, depending on the mother. In fact, I know of 3 to 5 year relationships where after a breakup, the boyfriend will never see the kids again. You will be reminded that it's not your children and you should keep your distance. And it's not fair to you or the children, but that's often the way that the cookie crumbles. It's a risk when you break up. You have no rights, no access, no bond with the children. Most single mothers will move on effortlessly. And in fact, often out of spitefulness, they will ensure that you don't have any contact whatsoever with her children, knowing how much it will hurt you, how much it will mess with your mind. It's like a double whammy. Double-edged sword. You lose her and the children all at once. And once again, everybody, I know that this is a touchy issue and that I have most probably ruffled some feathers with what I've shared with you. But so be it. I conclude with what I've started with. My intention is to help you become the best version of yourself. I am merely putting up a mirror today. And if you don't like the reflection, if you don't like what you see, well, there's not much I can do about that. And before you respond with your anecdotal evidence, I'm not implying that as a single mother, you don't deserve someone who loves you and your children, or that you won't find someone ever again, because we all deserve love and second chances. We all do, even third or fourth or even more. And if you are still here watching and you're a single mother who's done it all by herself, without any handouts, without any help. You've been a doctor, a teacher, a nurse, a cook, a referee, a provider, a defender, a protector, a true superwoman. Wear your cape proudly. We salute you. Thank you so much, everybody, for once again joining me on today's episode. Now, if this episode was of value to you, can I kindly ask you, if you haven't, to please subscribe to my channel, to like this video and to share it. And please let me know. I've got a long list of similar content that I would like to share with you all. This is a test because I know I've really said what I wanted to share with you. I've really just shared it with you, not knowing what I will get from you all. So I'm looking forward to your comments in the comments section below, and yeah, just share with me. Let me know what you think. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh yeah, subscribing, 2 things. Firstly, it is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a cent. And secondly, it is really easy. You can just click on that subscriber button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and please remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you would be notified and you won't miss out whenever I upload new videos. Thank you so much, everybody. I see you in the next episode. Stay blessed.